And I know you know the voice. Just ring the voice again. That unique voice.
All right, so it's VJ here keeping you company, and of course, you know, it is Yahweh Health FM, and I'm keeping company, of course, with Lady in White.
All right. We started a discussion this morning, VJ, where we were talking about, well, you know, funny. We started about the love bush.
Right.
And
right.
people could not believe the hysteria. I was just laughing uncontrollable. So one man came into the office today and he said to me, he said, Miss Minto, me thinking go talk about how the boy them take the love bush and put it in them.
Oh, seriously, that too?
Ooh!
Oh, I didn't know that.
Okay, people on Facebook, we have a lot to learn. It is true. So this love bush thing really, I mean, people came into the office and was laughing about this love bush thing, boy, I tell you.
But it's a big thing, you know.
It seems so.
This love bush thing is a big thing from I was a youth. You know, it was the main thing.
Mm-hmm.
When we were going to school. If you were not really throwing love bush, you were not in anything.
Not true.
Yeah, you had to be a part of that. And so today we look back at it and we can laugh about it. But the younger people, I wonder how much they know about that.
You know, I thought of that spirit, you know, because I said to myself, it was just so meaningful to us then.
Oh, very. Because if you thought somebody was in love with you or you felt that way about someone, then love bush will be throwing by any means.
And it doesn't matter whose tree will be dying.
Oh Lord. And it didn't really matter where they live. Love bush will be thrown right at the roadside there. And you see if that will ever grow, a different business then. Because you know now that this person loves you and you love this person. So therefore, man, those days were different. But I don't think the young people today, they share that kind of love and, you know, that togetherness, you know, when I say togetherness now, persons coming together knowing after looking at the love bush and springing up and all of that and, you know, sharing those moments, you know, these young people don't really know about that kind of thing.
Well, I think a lot of our herbs are getting scarce, and I think the love bush probably is.
I want to tell you something. Love bush it's plentiful in the rural.
Really?
Yes, it's plentiful. And I've been looking at love bush, and I've been saying that you see you, look at you, you're springing like that, and somebody throw you there.
Oh boy, somebody in love.
Somebody in love, abundantly in love. Because when I look there, and it is growing like crazy.
All right, so for my young friends on Facebook who are listening, the love bush, it's a yellow viney plant, and it's a parasite, so it doesn't really grow on the earth. It has to grow and feed on the other trees. And if you take the love bush and you throw it and call the name of the person that you think you are in love with or that is in love with you, and once it grows, wow, you're lucky.
Look at that, as easy as that.
All right.
As easy as that.
We spoke also on a more serious topic, which was the arrowroot. And I was amazed today how many persons actually said that it seems as if the arrowroot plant is getting extinct.
Oh yes, indeed it is. Because when I was a child, my mom used to boil the arrowroot porridge. I can't say that I've seen arrowroot since I've grown. I can't say that I've seen arrowroot like 3, 4, 5 times. And I've been in the marketplace several times, and I still have not seen the arrowroot. And when these people come out, they come out with everything that they grow to sell. And if arrowroot is not among the things that they're selling, then arrowroot is in trouble.
Wow. You know, one lady told me that she thinks that the majority of the arrowroot have died because of the fertilizers and the chemicals, the gramazone that is being sprayed on the land. And I was a little bit surprised. Shabby, if you could find the instruction on from the WhatsApp group where the lady was telling us how to prepare the Arrowroot. I'd love to be able to read it for the listeners. Just get it on your phone and name it to me. But the Arrowroot, though VJ, it is a crying shame to hear that. I remember a gentleman at the age... Such a powerful root.
Yes.
A gentleman at the age of 84 told me, he said, Miss Minto, I'm going to tell you a secret. No matter what, always drink the Arrowroot. He told me that many years, more than 20 years ago. He said the reason why he lived so long, and he lived to 90-something years old.
Whoa.
And person says, less care why he died. But he told, yeah.
At 96?
Yes.
Less care?
Yes. That if, because his children weren't paying him any mind, and when they get the money for food, they weren't buying him the food, and they would borrow his money, and they would, like, if other children gave him money, they would borrow the money, they wouldn't give it back. So he was often hungry, and so they said that, if he had gotten better care, he could have done the century. And he told me more than 20 years ago that I must always read the Arrowroot. He said to me that it is his secret for having the agility that he had at 84. And at 84, he was still chasing young girls.
84. My mom is like 83 now. And I can tell you, she is like on the downside of life. And I'm not sure if anything like that can pass through her mind. I'm not sure if her brain could process that.
Process any young boy?
I doubt that she could.
Any sex
I doubt that she could. That her brain could process sex.
I have a client that is 87, a gentleman, and he says this is only enjoyment. His wife is 78 and he's 87. And he says that's all that they do in terms of enjoyment. So I guess your mother, the Father, the Heavenly Father chooses to grant us different amount of, I'm going to say, life's energy. And, I guess he got a lot.
Can I say this to you?
Yes.
If I am going to live long,
Yes.
I'm going to ask the Most High to make sure that my ability to have sex remains. Because if there is no sex, life is not even worthwhile. And I'm serious. No matter the amount of money that I have, if I can't have sex, then it doesn't even make sense that I'm around.
Do you agree with VJ? Persons listening on Yahweh Health FM, or if you're watching on Facebook, do you agree with him that definitely sex is that important a part of living?
Sex is so important that if you're not careful every time that you have sex, that germination will take place every time if you're not careful.
Yes.
That's how important, and sex is life, by the way, because it is through sex that all of us who are here, we came here through sex. And every human being that will come to planet Earth after this will be through sex, even if it is not the actual sex taking place.
So you're saying, I was at the market this morning and one man said, after man and woman have to have sex, and the only way that me and you can come here. So why are we afraid to talk about sex? And I wanted to say to him, what are you doing to maintain your health after sex? So I will go back now to mentioning the Arrowroot, and when you look at Arrowroot and the slime and how it looks very much like sperm cells, you can understand that Arrowroot is also excellent.
It helps to build.
Yes, sperm cells.
Yes.
And you know that it has zinc, that men are always concerned about the volume of zinc that they can get. Arrowroot is very rich in zinc and magnesium and sulfur, so it's really, really good for building the sperm cells of men who are complaining about low sperm count.
I don't know why this powerful plant is actually being extinct. I don't understand it because, you know, when I was younger, it used to be in abundance. Today, you barely can find anybody, and if you find somebody selling arrowroots, then you know you have to pay for it.
You know, one of the things for me, why I have always respected Arrowroot, as a healer for more than 20 years, whenever I get a child with a brain disorder, attention deficit disorder, or oh boy, Down syndrome.
Right.
One of the things that we always recommend is the Arrowroot. If we get the babies born even with HIV, the first thing that we say to them, make some Arrowroot porridge. And I have seen it to reverse a lot of ADHD and a lot of Down syndrome disappears. I have seen even young children up to the age of 7 incorporating Arrowroot into the diet. And actually, you begin to see behavioral changes.
But persons out there might just be thinking that arrowroot, when you think about arrowroots, you think about children. But adults might be out there not knowing that you mentioned the zinc part of it. Of course it is. And so therefore I will say to just about anybody out there, if you're having serious issues
with the brain, memory, I'm going to even go as far as saying elderly persons who are having Alzheimer's or...
Thank you. That's where I was going.
Right. So scientists today, nutritionists, boast about the benefit that the brain will achieve from using the arrowroot. Arrowroot is said to be a protein. It's the only tuber root food that is very rich in protein. And you know, when it comes on to brain function, you need the zinc, you need all the other minerals, you also need the protein base. And arrowroot is said to be very rich in that as well. So when you look at the benefits of a food as simple as the arrowroot might seem, you begin to understand that definitely we need to start paying closer attention to saving foods that are this good. I mean, I can list all the, a lot of the benefits that persons will get from the arrowroot. Because, when it comes on to the nerve, somebody posted in the WhatsApp group, what's good for the nerve? Arrowroot is good for the nerve, for the nervous system. It's one of the best foods that you can find for the nervous system. Building the nervous system for babies, that's one of the main things that it does. For adults, it's just one of the main things that it does. So when you think of losing nutrients in ejaculation, like for men, losing a lot of nutrients, arrowroot, that's the main reason why arrowroot is given to babies, because it is so packed with nutrients. When we were growing up, VJ, there were no tin feed.
True.
Arrowroot was our tin feed.
And that's one of the reasons why, if you notice that today, you don't find a lot of persons having as many children as back then. Because one man would have with one woman 20 children and go back and have 16 with another woman.
Right. So the foundation building from birth and where the child should be given the arrowroot in the diet. Many
to help
of our
to
children
build the strength in the brain.
The brain,
yes, the brain power.
And the wood root.
Yes.
The root of the penis as well. And so these are the things that, when we realize the weaknesses that we're now having, it's because of the deficiencies that are occurring inside of our diets.
True.
So we definitely, we do have children who are not being fed properly, and they're being, given other foods rather than the real deal, the real arrowroot, which is the best thing to strengthen, and you start it as early as possible.
And I have a feeling too, ma'am, that brothers who are just drizzling,
yes,
when they should be showering,
definitely,
this arrowroot thing will help that brother to start showering.
Definitely.
So if you're just sprinkling when you should be showering, listen, arrowroot, I don't understand. Where can we actually find arrowroot today?
Oh, the challenge now with arrowroot is that arrowroot is a white powder. Not cocaine powder, but it's a white powder that looks like cornstarch, it looks like cassava starch, can be mistaken for a potato starch. So, people always say when we had a busy crisis, this was the busy crisis and people were selling pear seeds for busy.
Oh Lord.
The same thing happens now with arrowroot. In many countries around the world, you are not getting arrowroot. You're getting cornstarch, potato starch, cassava starch. Because cassava is a big industry, potato is a big industry, corn is a big industry.
Look at that.
But nobody's paying their attention to making sure that they're planting enough arrowroot. And so you pay big money because arrowroot is a more expensive starch than all of them. So you pay expensively for an inferior product.
Is there any side effect that you can say that may be associated with arrowroot? I've never heard of any side effect.
Definitely not from the arrowroot. There can be no side effects from the arrowroot because it's the best gift that the Most High has given. So you can't overuse it. You should surely only underusing it if you're not getting sufficient of it, definitely. But if you take substitutes, like if you take like the cornstarch is genetically modified corn, and very often sprayed with chemicals, just so you're not sure what kind of other additives and chemicals are in it. The same thing will happen with the cassava and the potato. It's not what you want. It won't have all that nutritional benefits, and therefore you might not see all that magnificent improvement that you would want to, especially if you're having like digestive issues. When it comes down to digestive issues, some persons are gluten intolerant, some persons they're just having belly pains or gas in the digestive tract, and the arrowroot is good at eliminating all of those.
Look at that.
Yeah.
Now, the fact is, I want to ask a question. If anybody at all out there having information on how we can actually improve the growth of arrowroot, please let us know.
Wow.
Because this is a powerful root that is going into extinction. And believe it, ladies and gentlemen, we don't want it to get there. Because the things that we are getting today, lady in white, the things that our young people have been fed on today cannot substitute the arrowroot.
I tell you, one of the things over the weekend that really had me appalled, I was at home digging some arrowroot and some friends from Kingston came, and they were saying, boy, Sister Maureen, look at the bananas that you have. They're so pretty and they're all natural, right? They're not like the ones that they put in gas chambers in Kingston and put into the supermarkets, and I felt so sad. Because one of the things about eating fruits that are ripened with these gases is that these fruits actually have a poisonous chemical in it that wards off insects or rats or rodents, anything, lizards. No small animal, insect will eat these unripened fruit, and that's how the Creator designed it. It has a very toxic, poisonous chemical, cancer-causing chemical that the Creator naturally placed in it.
And if it is bad for those insects and creatures, then it will have maybe not the same adverse effect on the human being, but there will be an effect.
There will be an effect.
Yes.
So when man, and it's wicked of men to do, use chemical to ripen a fruit, then it really is poisoning the individual.
Oh Lord.
Because it's a poisonous substance, a poisonous chemical that is in it. And so when my friend said it, I really felt really bad. And then now they said to add insult to injury, he went on to say, boy, Miss Minto, it is so sad you go to the market and you spend so much money for food, and most of the food has a lot of fertilizer in it. And so you're spending more money for food, like yams today is $180 a pound. But it has so much fertilizer that it is not able to absorb a lot of the substance that would make the yam healing. And when you want to create healing foods, you have to allow nature to do that. So if you put fertilizers on it, yes, it will blow it up like a balloon quickly, but a lot of the substance in the yam that would make Usain Bolt steal it very fast.
For example, one of the very, very powerful components of a yam
would not be absorbed when you put those chemicals on it.
That is correct. So the organic foods are the best foods. So therefore, it is my advice to persons looking on right now and listening to us that because it is so important to all of us and for the youngsters, who of course they're the future. Please, I'm just asking that you go the organic way because it is very, very important for them. Just think about it. If lifespan is 70, and today we are struggling with it, some people can't get there. Think about your kids who will be eating all these chemical that will be placed in these foods.
Yeah, man.
So these plants, it won't affect the plants themselves. But of course, whatever that the plants produce, that they will be affected.
You know, funny though, I'm going to say that it is affecting the plants. Because I got some sweet yam from my aunt. Hi, Auntie Tiddly and Marjorie. My cousin got some sweet yam as well. And my cousin used fertilizer because, you know, once you get the yam, they always say, oh, you have to use fertilizer upon the yam because it was grown on fertilizer, and if you don't use fertilizer, the yam won't come to any good. But of course, I don't use fertilizer. So I planted my yam just the same. And I said, Father Yahweh, may I beg you do, as you have promised to protect and give me my yield, please do that. And I planted my sweet yams. And I had to be sharing my sweet yams with family members because their sweet yam got burnt down. They said some frost came and destroyed the vine of the yam. And I said, what could have caused it? They said, well, maybe it's the fertilizer, maybe it's the chemical that they used to spray the field. They're not sure. But their yams were burnt down. Nothing happened to mine. I was able to reap all of my yams, cut them, and still able to sink them so that they can give me a second yield of yam.
You know, when I was a child, and I remember when they were actually fertilizing the plow land, that they would use either the cow dung, the goat dung, the fowl dung, that kind of
trash
from the field. That's what they would actually use. And that, let me tell you something, brothers and sisters, this is where we all walk right into the yard where organic stuff just in abundance. And we're saying to just about every man, woman, boy, and girl, if you can, even if you live in the city, try and make sure that you grow something in your backyard for yourself. Do not use the kind of manure that they're offering you now that will just blow up the ground produce, and then you don't have the kind of nutrients that is supposed to be there. The kind of nutrients that we know that the ground produce supposed to come up with. Every time that you dig a piece of yam, it is supposed to have a strong component called potassium, and I love it. That's one of the reasons Usain Bolt is so strong. I can tell you that. America is now doing a study. In fact, they have already done the study, and you know what? They're sending their athletes here so that they can eat the yam here and they can train here, that when they go to Olympics, they can run fast too. So mom and dad, this is a word to you.
All right.
You want your son and your daughter to run fast and to be strong and to be very fertile. Brothers, eat yam.
All right, and just in case you got some arrowroot, which is a yam, it's a tuber, like, you know, it's a yam family, and you want to know how to prepare it, someone in the WhatsApp group posted this this instruction. So she said, arrowroot is a plant that is reaped the same way you do ginger, turmeric, carrot, etc.
Yes.
As a child growing up with my grandmother, she would strip the trash from it, wash it, and grate it. The process is similar to grated coconut or more like cassava. After she would strain it through a thin, clean, normally a white piece of fabric. We would then allow the liquid to settle in a basin. We would then throw off the excess liquid until we see the starch. We then put the starch to dry in the sun for days until it was dry enough, until it started cracking up. We would use our clean hands to rub it into powder to ensure it was properly dry. We would then store it in a clean, clear jar, covered, to make porridge with it. So if you get some arrowroot, that's the recipe, that's the formula to prepare your own arrowroot from the tuber, from the yam-like piece that you dig from the ground. Then that's how you prepare it to get your arrowroot. And then simply to make the porridge, I normally say 1 teaspoon to a cup is fine. And then you just boil it for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. It's easy cooking, easy boiling. And of course, you know, arrowroot can be eaten raw. You didn't know that?
Whoa.
You didn't know that arrowroot can be eaten raw?
No, I did not know that.
Ah, see? Yes, the younger ones are tender, and you can just take it and just eat it, bite into it, yeah. And you can cook it.
That is supposed to be powerful.
Yeah, I eat it. You know, you can cook the arrowroot and the young tender ones too, the younger ones. They have to be as tender as the one that you eat. And eat it, and I'm telling you, it nice and gummy. It really, really give you that nice taste and feeling.
Is there any stimulant in that?
I don't know. I'm not a man that found that.
Because I am saying that, you know, for a root that powerful,
yeah,
that can help to really make a man a better man.
Ooh.
When you use the porridge, when you use it to make porridge, just imagine anything that does not touch the fire.
Yes.
Is like 3-4 times more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
So therefore, I would very well imagine.
You know what? I'm gonna get you some of the young plants.
Oh please.
Because fortunately for me, arrowroot is something that I have cultured in my backyard. I'm gonna say all my life, because growing up weak and sickly, I've had to always depend on arrowroot. And I just reaped about 5 buckets full, 5 of the 5-gallon buckets full of arrowroot.
Arrowroot?
Yeah, because I have to reap it for the whole year. And then I have to reap it for my mother as well. So my mother is a big fan of arrowroot.
Oh.
So we have to, yeah. So we have to, I always plant a whole lot of it so that there is enough.
That's why that lady is still so strong.
Natural looks so youthful.
Oh yes.
Yeah, she's crazy about the arrowroot. So even like this morning, I was saying to her, "Mommy, you know that I dug arrowroot yesterday." She said, "Really? Well, where's my?" First she said, "Mommy, you know here, I must leave the farming alone and stop stress out yourself on the farming." I said, "Mom, I love it." When I dug the arrowroot yesterday, I was so happy to actually reap that much arrowroot from the farm. And then to know that when I put it back in this year, I'm going to be coming up with about 3 times the amount of arrowroot that I actually planted last year.
Is it possible though that we can use arrowroot to accompany your food, like how you would use the turmeric or even the ginger? Could you actually use it in for instance, with the fish or with the meat?
Yes, man. Arrowroot is a thickener, you know. So like sometimes I call it tapioca. Arrowroot is used to thicken sauces or porridge or make gravy, as we say in Jamaica, yeah.
Yeah.
To make gravy, you can actually use the arrowroot powder. Just add a little water to it and then put it, and it thickens whatever soup, porridge, anything like that. It really does wonders. A gentleman told me a formula of how to use arrowroot to make puddings. He said after his mother separated the starch from and had the trash left, that she would put the trash to dry, and then she would put it in a mortar and pound it. And then after pounding it in the mortar, then you get it into a powder.
Like flour.
Yeah, like flour. And then now she would add her, her little things to it to create her pudding. The coconut with the sugar and maybe a little flour to it. And then, she would get a pudding. And he says, man, when you spice that,
powerful,
my brother, me now waste none Arrowroot this I hear, yeah. I might, if I try to remember, I'm going to let you taste the pudding. Because I intend to do the pudding.
Can I tell you something? I want to really start feeding on Arrowroot like crazy.
I'm telling you.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, I'm not so young. But I can tell you something, that if I live until I'm 100, I want to be able to have sex. And life does not really have no meaning. No, I'm serious. I'm serious. What else? What other fun in life when you get to that age? What other fun will you have in life? You just need to be able to do it.
All right, sisters, listen. I have not had sex for many, many years. Many years.
Oh,
you can almost start counting my tooth. All right. I won't embarrass myself and say for how long. I have not had sex. And I'm having a lot of fun and I'm enjoying life. So guess what? And if I have to do another 2 fingers, 2 hands again, I'm going to still enjoy life. Sex is nice. I mean, I had sex. I was married for some 16 years, and trust me, sex was boy, I never thought I could live without sex, to be honest with you. Never thought I could. But I prayed, and I have done it. And to be honest with you, some days I don't even remember not name sex. And there are days when the feeling would come, and you think about sex and you say, boy, Father, you can't say no, one little husband, one little man, pick up and give me some little touch up and stuff. And then you get back into yourself and you say, listen, there are other more critical things in life than worrying about that. And, I have so many young people to take care of, so many persons to help and to guide that I don't have the time much to dwell there, and I give thanks for that. So, VJ, may I agree with you that it is important to keep alive and to enjoy all of that. So I'm not robbing you of that. But if you can't
I
get
will
it,
sing praises unto the Most High all the time. But I can tell you this for sure, ladies and gentlemen, make no mistake. My life, I can tell you this. I said I'm not young. But if I'm going to live until I'm 100, Most High, please help me that I will still be able to perform my sexual duties.
Oh boy. All right.
You've heard it that's from important.
The big man VJ.
That's important.
We want to thank you for joining us again for another of our lively discussions as we talk food and talk health, and just encourage you to keep healthy until the next time.
Take care, everybody. God bless.